I can feel the love, can you feel it too? I can feel it all. I can feel it all.
Ooh, happy Homebrew Wednesday numbers. 18. 18. Getting there slowly. How are you lot? I hope everyone's all good. So, part of this Homebrew Wednesday, hopefully shouldn't be too boring for everyone. The latter part of it, I start talking about Berliner Weiss and sours, so if you're not into sour beers, flick off. At that point, okay, so I've got some notes for usual because my memory's so shit. Oh, first off, before I delve into the notes, this is on my Guns N' Roses GNR IPA. Now, the London and South East brew competition, so London and the South East of England, South East of the country competition. Cheers, by the way. I entered this and the American Brown Ale. Now, the American Brown Ale, for those of you who actually watched my earlier videos from when I first started, was literally just a beer that I had loads of leftover grains and I just threw them all together with a couple of suggestions from Sticky Tentacles, one being cacao nibs and oats, I think it was. Anyway, threw it all together, chucked some Cascade in, didn't really think too much of it. And it got honourable mention in it was Dark Ales, American Dark Ales and something, so there's various ones. I didn't win, but I got honourable mention, so I'm assuming, obviously, well, I'm not assuming, I know, so out of all the American Brown Ales that were entered, mine was the best. Also on the little jugs they have, they had great example of style on my one, which I was pretty shocked about, to be honest with you, considering it literally was just leftover grains chucked in and fucking mashed and some Cascade thrown at it. I mean, obviously there was a little bit to do with the recipe. So anyway, so honourable mention, best American Brown Ale. Then I've got a rosette for this. Rosette for the GNR IPA. Not bad for the first competition, I don't think. Fantastic. So I was well chuffed and well pissed at the end of that at U-Brew in Bermondsey. So if any of you were there, I hope you had a good time. I sampled far too many of people's homebrews, far too many to mention. I got stuck on the porters and stout section, and I got stuck on the sours. I got hammered. Also, I saw that lady from Daft Cat Brewing down there, which was nice. And I had a little chat with her. Seen a few of her videos. She was a nice lady. It was all good. Anyway, so what arrived? 50 litre pot arrived today. Not today. 50 litre pot arrived from the malt miller, which was good. 88 quid for a 50 litre pot with a tap and a hop strainer. I've sorted out the garden and the chairs, so I've sorted it out. So I've got the buffalo up the top, mash tun, burner, all ready to go for three vessel in the summer months. Just need the propane. Get that down the road. 13 quid for is it 30 quid for a 15 kilo? Anyway, whatever. They've got propane down the road. I'm going to go and grab it. Now, RO water. Ant Rogerson. I got the idea from him to go and get a load of RO water, which was £3.50 for 25 litres. And I've seen other people do it and talk about it, saying, you know, it's really good to save yourself a fortune on distilled water. So I went and got 25 litres of it a month and a half, 2 months ago. Maybe, yeah, 2 months ago, whatever. Anyway, it was in my container, sealed. Went to make star san out of it, instantly cloudy. Fucked. Didn't work. What have I done wrong? Or have I just gone to a rubbish place? I asked for RO water, plain, not salted, RO water from the aquarium. They gave me it. Tried to make star san out of it, and it went instantly cloudy. Someone tell me, if someone could tell me what that means. Obviously, I don't know. I mean, cloudy means wrong pH levels, right? So it's not going to work. And then Ant Rogerson done a video, when this comes out, it will be a couple of weeks ago, and he showed his star san and it looked clear. Any ideas as to what went wrong? Because I love the idea of saving myself 20 quid or whatever every time I buy it. Anyway, so right, so now we're going to move on to sours. If you're not into sour beers or Berliners, then go and watch Brewmaster Ben or Steve Molson or something. I'll muddle on. If you're interested in sours, then let me know. I'm going to do a raspberry sour next Saturday, so when this comes out, yeah, a couple of days time. Now, I ran my ideas past Dan ABA, top geezer. If you ever do a sour, everyone knows about him. Dan ABA, he's your man. Thanks, Dan, for your advice. Basically, I read somewhere that when you run, I'm going to sour in the fermenter, okay? I'm not going to do it in the mash because I'm going to actually attempt to do a Berliner Weiss, a sour beer brew in a bag, just because I see it as a bit of a challenge. So therefore that completely rules souring in a mash out for a start. And what you're left with is souring in a kettle and souring in a fermenter. Now, I can't keep the Buffalo in the kitchen at 35-40 degrees for 2 days. That's just, logistically, that is just not going to happen. So that rules that out, and that only leaves souring in a fermenter. Now, what that means is you do your grain bill. I use below 10, below 6 if you know, ideal. Do your mash as usual, do your boil as usual, 60-minute boil or whatever it is. And then you chill it down to, I think, so the lactobacillus I've ordered is 35 degrees. Then carefully transfer it in the tube from the boiler into the fermenter, so as little oxygen as possible gets in. And then, from what I understand, you purge the oxygen out of it. Now, I don't have a stone, I don't have whatever, so all I was going to do was take the disconnect off the gas line and just put the lid on the fermenter and trickle it out through the hole, point it down and through, and hopefully that will do it. I know it won't get the O2, the oxygen out of the wort, but apparently Dan ABA says you don't have to. There's no proof that it creates off flavours, so that's cool. So that's what's going to happen. Then pitch the lactobacillus, wait and test it every 12 to 24 hours until the pH is between 3 and 3.4. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, 3 to 3.4. Then I'm going to oxygenate it, pitch the yeast and the Brett. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And then 4 days after, I have to confirm this with, yeah, but 4 days after, I'm going to put 2.5 kilos of raspberries in and make a nice raspberry sour. It was going to be a Berliner, but because I upped the ABV and made the colour a little bit darker, like I normally do, I mess about with things. It's just going to be a raspberry sour, but hopefully it'll be good. And apparently, if you sour in a fermenter, it's not the 1 to 2 years souring time. It 100 days, so 3 and a bit months, 3 months, good to go. So if I do it now, August, and hope for an Indian summer, so I can smash back these sours. Okay, one question for those of you who've done sours. I'm going to bottle it. Now I bought 2 fermenters, one for primary, one for bottling. I'm going to label them sour. I've bought a new auto siphon that's going to be just for sours as well. When I bottle it, do I need a separate bottle capper? Because I'm going to bottle it, because there's no point. I'm not going to waste a keg sitting there for 6 months to a year aging. The bottle capper, because it will touch some of the liquid. Am I being really paranoid, and should I just get a separate bottle capper just in case, because I don't want to infect future brews, or not? Or is the bottle capper something I don't really have to worry too much about? Now, using Brett as well, it's going to continue to ferment any of the sugars and the leftover bits and bobs that the ale yeast won't use. So when I prime, do I prime with a normal amount of priming sugar? I've read that I should. Or do I do like I done with the Russian Imperial when I bottled it? I looked at what I should prime it with and then like chopped a third off because I planned on aging it. If anyone can help me out there, that'd be good, because some say yes, primary sugar, some say no. But I'm not going to bottle with Brett, so as in, you know, pitch it and then bottle. I'm going to pitch the Brett with the yeast, with the beer yeast, German ale yeast, and then I'm going to leave it for 2 to 3 weeks to ferment out as much as possible. Anyway, so if someone who, it says this is my first sour, if someone could tell me, specifically Dan or Josh, I think, anyone else made any of that? Yeah, there's probably loads that made sours. Just anyone, just let me know, please. That'd be great. Also, acid malt. I was going to start using that, then I thought I'm not going to bother now. I'm just going to use the liquid acid stuff, lacto, whatever it's called. I didn't want to go out and buy a digital pH reader and have to do the buffer, Stultz and this, that, the other. So I just got some pretty specific pH strips that literally go up and tell you what it is. Hopefully they'll do well. Basically, I suppose the whole point of this part of the video is if anyone's got any decent advice. Really, things to look out for. Really. Going to boil, mash the same, put it into the fermenter with as little oxygen as possible, purge the top through the hole, put in the lacto, put the lid on, purge through the hole, put an airlock, whack it in the fermenter at 35 degrees until it comes down to pH between 3 and 3.5, take it out, aerate it, pitch the German ale yeast, pitch the Brett, and then leave it for 3 weeks at 19 until it's fermented out, and then bottle it and leave it for 3 months. If someone knows of something I'm going to do wrong, or can stop me, or tell me, you know, that's going to go perfectly fine. I mean, I've done enough research, I can't think that that's, and I've spoke to Dan ABO. But if anyone's had an experience of doing it like that, if they could let me know, that'd be great, because I don't want to do all of that, age it for 3 to 6 months and then open it, it's just fucked. Because I think I might end up smashing something. That's just ridiculous. So, yeah, so, if any of you know how what to look out for, that's great. So, quickly, if I go through, look, this is like all this stuff I've researched. Sarin at primary, Sarin used pH 5.2. I went and got all of the water from the water board. Actually, that's got my postcode on it. Where we are? Oh no, it's not there. It's got everything. All the stuff. Everyone said you have to pay about 25 quid for that. It's free. It's on their website. On my water provider's website. Everything. 3 pages detailing everything. Well chuffed. Save you 25 quid. Where's my recipe? Okay, so in it I've got 2.5 kilos of Pilsner, 2.5 kilos of wheat malt, 5 grams of Challenger, bringing it in at 3.3 on the IBUs. Hardcore. Protoflock, and then I've got it says 2 kilos here, but I'm probably going to put 2.5 kilos of raspberry because it's a 23 litre batch. Is 2.5 kilos enough? I hope so. Someone tell me, please. Anyway, I'm going to put it 2.5 kilos. After 4 days in the fermenter, when there's some alcohol present, I'm going to dump it for 2.5 kilos and leave it until it's all fermented out 3 weeks later. If anyone can see any problems in me doing that, please let me know. Anyway, that's it. I've had a massive rant and a ramble. A bit tipsy, so excuse me for that. Drinking 6.7% American IPAs isn't going to help me much either. Anyway, happy Homebrew Wednesday, guys. See you soon.